Hi and welcome to our introduction video. We will now explain how everything will work out, how you will search for information and how to debate. I'm Edwin.
I'm Erasmus.
I'm Lumi.
And I'm Lisa.
Start with divide the class into smaller groups, approximately 2 to 3 pupils in each group. Each group will receive an EU country that they will represent.
Middle school pupils will get one big question to debate about, and secondary school pupils will get several but small questions to debate about. In this video, the question will be about if we should expand the EU, i.e. allow more countries to enter the EU. Each group will receive a card that has some basic facts about their country. For example, country's budget and the country's current political situation.
You should also search for information based on your country's perspective and if your country would agree or disagree on a lot of questions. You choose a side based on your assigned country's perspective and facts, that is not your personal opinion. When you search for facts, you could use the analytical model of social studies.
It's a model that you can use to organize your facts when you do an analysis. Without causes, the questions wouldn't exist, and without the questions, there are no consequences.
For example, a societal question could be, should we raise taxes on tobacco products? The reason for that societal question is that we consume too much tobacco. The consequences can be both positive and negative. For example, an individual can experience a lower standard of living because of a lack of money. On the other hand, the workload and cost of healthcare will ease with less patients with tobacco-related problems.
Now you're going to prepare for your debate. Step 1. First you're going to search for information about the question. When you search for information, you should derive from the analytic model of social studies. Step 2. After that, you should formulate your thesis in front of the others. That's when you express your standpoint concerning the question. What do you think? Is your country with or against the question?
Now you should try to convince the others that your standpoint is the right one. You should have at least 3 main arguments, preferable more, which support your opinions. Don't use expressions like I feel like or I think. Instead you could use studies have shown or another more formal phrases.
Step 4. In this part of the debate, you should weaken your opponent's thesis with counter-arguments. A counter-argument should counter your opponent's argument. Step 5. In the last step, you want to think of what weaknesses your own thesis has, and prepare yourself on how you're going to answer your opponent's possible counter-argument.
Here we have some further tips for the debate. In the debate, you're going to try to come back to your main argument, also the strongest, and repeat them for a punch to convince the other countries. When you get a counter-argument, you're going to give an example on a possible solution to the counter-argument. You can always look at the question from different perspectives: individual, societal, global, urbanization, decentralization of rural areas.
You want to illustrate your arguments in an effective way, so your opponents can see your point of view easily.
Draw parallels between your arguments and real-time events and situations.
We will now show you how a debate will look like.
Hello and welcome to the debate. I'm the official speaker, that means I'm the one who gives the word. You have to raise your hand if you want to say something. Let's begin. Today we're going to discuss if we should expand the European Union or not. Germany, you start.
Well, if we expand the European Union, we will get closer to each other and have more influence over other countries. If something bad is happening in other countries, we can change it because we are one big union and we all think the same. If we are more people in the union, we have more influence and we can do more better things for the world.
Do you have any counter arguments?
Yes, the other thing about having influence over other countries can also be a bad thing because you'll have less influence over your own country and its economy.
Yes, go on.
If EU gets bigger, more people will move to our country and get jobs, which is bad for us because it will be less jobs for people that already live here.
Franz, what do you think?
We think we should expand the EU because money does good things for the farmers, like helping them with their farmland. It can also help countries that don't have any money.
Yes.
But the countries that don't have much farmland doesn't get anything out of it. We, for example, don't have farmland, so we actually lose money on the EU.
Any other arguments?
It will be easier to travel and to import things because of free movement.
I protest. The only thing I hear when I talk is drugs. Drugs and criminal activity will escalate because of free movement.
When people from other countries move to your country and start working with the police, they could stop criminal activity and drug dealing. It will get better.
Please stay quiet until I give you the word!
I apologize.
Before this gets a little bit too crazy, I say, let's vote. So who think we should expand the EU? Okay, so I guess we will be expanding the European Union. Albania will be joining us.